Hey there, guys. In case you didn't know, this is the Healthy Life Coach 702, and I just wanted to reach out and talk to you guys about relationships, and more so the pros and cons of a relationship, and to narrow that down even more, dating or in relationships with convicts. I'm not saying that all convicts, number one, deserve to be there. What I'm more so wanting to, focus on, these are your habitual offenders. These are your offenders that have been going in and out since the juvenile system, and yet they're in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, still going back and forth. And that's still not to say that they're a bad person, but what I would like for you to focus on is, looking into that family tree. If you're choosing to, entertain someone that has that type of background, you want to get to know that family tree. You want to get to know how they interacted with their mother, their father, their siblings, and so on. Because usually there's some underlying issues there that led them to the life of, the criminal life of, going in and out. And many times it boils down to there's some unresolved traumatic issues that they have endured. And, we have to also look at the flip side of being inside. Inside, it's basically a dog-eat-dog world. You have to survive. You have to cut off all feelings and emotions, and you got to do what you have to do to survive. And many times that may not include a choice that they necessarily would choose on the streets. That could be anywhere from living a dual life, and when I'm speaking of dual life, homosexuality. They may on the outside be straight, and you're interacting with this person and knowing that they don't hand out protection in institutions. You may be opening yourself up to a lot of different issues, whether it may be STDs, many things when it comes to living a dual life, as far as that, dealing with the same sex within the facility. There are some that even interact with correctional staff, so that could be another whole box of worms. Then there are the I want to say the I guess the habitual relationship, or not even relationships. They deal with multiple people on the outside, and it's all for usually financial gain, what they can get from you. They, again, you're in an environment that teaches you to suppress your emotions, and to, pretty soon, especially those that have been there for long lengths of time or have been back and forth, it's hard for them to truly care for others. I'm not saying that there are some that are there that do not care for their wives, their girlfriends, or vice versa, their boyfriends or husbands, and so on. All I'm saying is look deep. All I'm saying is take a few steps back, listen to your instincts, your intuition. If your heart may be saying one thing, your gut could be saying another, and if they're not coinciding, you want to take a few steps back and just take a look at everything, and you have to make the right decision for yourself. But I would be concerned when you're dealing with people where they have previous relationships. Say, for example, there are kids involved, and you start to ask, okay, well, what is the status, or what is the status of the relationship with your kids? And if they start to have a lot of negative chatter about that other partner, but don't really highlight, any of the positive things they could have added to the child's life, you want to, take note of that. You want to, get more information. Not that you're prying or being a detective, but, if you're starting to get that getting to know that family tree, you will begin to be able to put more pieces together. You may find that they really didn't spend any time with the kids. They could have left them on the other partner, but could be, bad mouthing that other partner. Then when we speak to the ones that have multiple children, by multiple partners, that should possibly be a red flag for you. I understand, relationships don't work out. We get that. People are people, are people are people. We have, a hard time sometimes getting along with others and so on. But when you have dealing with someone that has multiple partners or multiple ex-partners and multiple children by different partners, but no relationship with the children, no sense of co-parenting and so on, you want to take a step back. You may even want to, if it's possible, or if it's, something that you think you want to look into, you may want to, if there's communication with the, the ex-partners, or if there's some type of parenting, kind of, not that you're prying, but kind of get their side of the story. Because, and the reason why I'm, I guess, alluding to this is because we live in a narcissistic society. And what better narcissistic lab than a jail or a prison, where it's all about me, it's all about me, it's all about me. And what do I have to do to survive? If I have to step on people's heads to get to the top, then I'm going to do that. So those are things that you have to look at when, again, you're dealing with someone that's incarcerated. Again, if this person you're dealing with, and they're always asking for money, or especially a man asking a woman for money, and say the woman is, is a single parent, even if that is your partner that your kids are from or by, they have to realize, especially the cost of living today, asking, especially if they put themselves there, consistently asking, or they know your pay dates better than you do, and they're consistently asking for these high dollar, amounts, or, oh, I gotta have this. Many times that is, part of a scam. They may have a drug habit in there. They may, owe people for whatever reason, and they are using you to pay off those debts. And you may be sacrificing things that you need to do for your kids. You may be sacrificing your bills and so on. And this person is in there, feeding whatever habit that may be, gambling, drugs, or just, whatever else that they may be into inside of that place. Also, when you're dealing with violent criminals, you have to, and then they've been in violent institutions, they've been there for many years. Don't think just because they come out of that door that all of that cuts off. If this person doesn't willingly, on their own seek counseling or some type of treatment, you may be setting yourself up, and especially if you have kids, setting your family up for abuse. They can tend to have, tempers, and many times that's, goes to, childhood. That can go to where they may have been in an abusive family, may have been, beat or tortured and so on. And then for whatever reason, they ended up incarcerated. Well, now you're building trauma on top of trauma. You're dealing with childhood issues that were unresolved. Then you're dealing with incarceration. A lot of issues aren't resolved there. Someone has to really have it within themselves and really fight hard to overcome those different issues that they've experienced while incarcerated. So be mindful if you're entertaining someone that has been convicted of violent crimes, and not, especially more than once, and especially where it has to do with, hurting people, killing people. because those people sometimes have flashbacks. It may be something you say or your child says, or even something your child does, and they go back to that mentality of incarceration. Oh, I was disrespected. Oh, I must act. I must do something. And a lot of times that means something physical. And it could be a child, a young child, a child that's not even in kindergarten, and then you're thinking it's safe for you to even go across the country and leave your children with this person, not knowing that they are mentally unstable. I could, really go on and on about this particular situation, especially as it deals to narcissism and incarcerated people, because it's all about themselves. It's all about what they want, what they need, and what they're going to do. And it doesn't matter if you marry them. It doesn't matter if you have kids with them. When it comes to, you could be sick and you're begging them, please don't take that job out of state. I really need you here. It doesn't matter. It's about what they want and where they want to go with their career. And then let's not talk about infidelity. Well, let's talk about infidelity. Again, it's all about them and what they want and what they need in their life. They, feel like many times that, oh, I've missed a lot of time in my life. What she doesn't know or what he doesn't know won't hurt them. And so what if they, and this is when you deal with the really low down narcissists that really don't care. They will have their mistress, call. You could be in the car, could be on a family trip with your kids in the back seat. They don't care. They will even ask them, hey, you want to talk to her? So, you really want to, reflect on yourself and ask yourself, why am I entertaining this kind of person? What is this person bringing to the table? Am I, dealing with a low self-esteem? Am I listening to those negative voices, that may have come from childhood, that you're not anything or you won't be anything and nobody's going to want you? Or are you listening to society? Oh, I need to be married by a certain time. I need to have kids by a certain time. Are you looking at the potential that a person is showing, and you're overlooking some things, like, or you're in denial? They're showing things and you're like, oh, well, maybe I'm being negative. Oh, well, this may get better. Oh, well, they just got out. They need time to adjust. Just remember, if they are not seeking help, not seeking counseling, not, actively trying to work on those emotional issues, it will change. It will change for the worse. And that could be at the hands of your kids. It could be at the hands of you. It could, not even physically, but the mental and emotional abuse that, pretty soon, it could lead to, just blatantly calling you out your name, or just, up and leaving for no reason, or just all of a sudden start entertaining people at their jobs. Just start giving out their number and telling people that they're single. Or the most common one, oh, she's crazy, I'm trying to get away from her. Yeah, or they're even bold enough, I'm not, could be married, I'm not going to leave my wife, but we can still mess around. And, for those of us that entertain people that are in relationships that you are aware of, know that you are creating your karma bed. What goes around truly comes around, and it's usually 10 times worse. So if you're entertaining someone and know that they're still in a relationship, or know they're still legally married, it's best to, put that on pause and let them clean up, their home base. And then if, the time presents itself and it's a good, healthy move, then make that move. Otherwise, you have to think of your health, your mental health, and so on, because that domestic violence, that narcissistic abuse, all that leads to is mental, emotional, and health illnesses. You don't deserve that. You are loved. You deserve better than that. If you want, more information, or if you'd like to schedule an individual coaching, there's no charge. I just ask for donations. And I am willing to speak with you on this topic, or other topics that I may speak with that resonate with you. And if this resonates with you, please like and subscribe, and please share with others. It may resonate with someone else. Or more, what I would really appreciate is any comments you have, most of all, any questions. All I ask is that we remain respectful, know that we all have made poor decisions, and even on this topic, I can speak on this topic because this was my life. So this is not something I'm making up. This is not something that I've read in a book. I was married to a narcissist. I was married to someone that spent a lot of time in and out. I was married to someone that abused myself and my children. So I can definitely, empathize with you if you are going through this, or if you have questions. And it's not easy to talk to friends and family when you're dealing with someone that's incarcerated, because the first thing they think, what's wrong with you? And it's not necessarily, what's wrong with you. Sometimes it's a matter of, you can be fooled. You can, they can put their best foot forward, but then you start to see, little lies slip out, little actions, things that don't add up. And what you want to do in those cases is don't ignore your instincts. So on that note, be blessed, be a blessing to others. Remember to smile, and bless others with your smile. It doesn't have to be financial or gifts or anything. Sometimes something as simple as a smile of anyone you encounter can be a super blessing, because again, you never know what a person is going through. You never know. You can't judge by the outside. You just never know. So on that note, just be kind to everyone you encounter and be a blessing. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.